Oh no. Oh no, it's them. They're back. They're back. Hold on, let me just check this out. Ooh, Keebler rolls! I got away. Come on, we gotta work on our vocab. Come on. So, before we get into this article about crazy sports fans, we gotta go through some vocabulary and just kind of look it over so that we have a good understanding of what we read. So, you should have a paper that looks like this. It should say vocabulary at the top. Do sports fans go too far? The name of our article. And the directions say read the following definitions and example sentences. Then add one more word from the article. So if you come across a word in the article while you're reading that's kind of like, I'm not sure what that means, take the time to write it down, look it up, and figure out the meaning of that word. Help build your vocabulary. So the first word is delirious. I'm sure you probably heard of this, but I'm not sure if you know what it means. Delirious is an adjective, and basically it means not able to think or speak clearly. Sometimes I'm delirious, you all know that. So I've had that experience, and maybe you have too. But you're unable to think or speak clearly, especially because of fever or other illness. It's usually something that's like causing it. But there's a second definition. It also can mean like wildly excited. So imagine how they might use that word inside of the article when we read that article. Delirious. They have two examples here. The first one says, I'm just going to read the first one, and you can check the second one out if you want when you go back and reread it. But the first example just says, as the child's fever went up, he became delirious and didn't know where he was. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and read example 2 because it kind of gives you the other meaning. So here's example 2. The team was delirious with joy after defeating the Cougars in the championship. All right. Our next word is evoke. It's a verb. And evoke means to call up, produce, summon, memories, feelings, etc. An example of this is right here. These old photos evoke many happy memories. So I sometimes have things that evoke memories. They're not just photos. It might even be like memorabilia. I used to coach Odyssey of the Minds, and here is, everything's falling out. Here is a book that is like in memory of Odyssey of the Minds, and it has like pictures of different events that we were in with the team that I coached, and this evokes a lot of great memories for me because it was a lot of fun coaching these kids and working with these kids for Odyssey of the Minds. So they evoke a lot of memories for me. The next word is foster. To promote the growth or development of, to look after a child who is not your own without becoming the legal parent. I'm sure you heard of foster parents before, or maybe you have a parent that is a foster parent, or maybe you want to be a foster parent someday. Example 1, working in the school garden fosters cooperation and responsibility. So that's promoting the growth of or development. It's that part of the meaning. Example 2 says, the boy Ellie's parents were fostering has gone back to live with his family. Let me reread that. I stumbled up on that. Example 2, the boy Ellie's parents were fostering had gone back to live with his family. So the boy that they were fostering went back to live with their family. The next word is incense. To cause extreme anger. The word incensed means like very angry when you add like the ed to the end of it. It means to cause extreme anger. Or noun version is a substance that is burned to produce a fragrant odor. So people might burn an incense. It's something that has. Don't do this. It could be dangerous. Don't ever play with fire. Only do this if your parent is there to supervise. But if your parents are to supervise, then you can burn an incense, and it gives off like a great smell, depending on what smell it is. So, incense. Example 1 sentence for incense is Justin Bieber's failure to show up at his own concert incensed the crowd. They got very angry because he didn't show up. I was very angry too. I was there. Justin, where were you? Okay? And example 2 says, my mother always burns incense after we clean the house to get rid of the smell of the cleaning products. I don't know how healthy that is. Maybe they're organic incense. I don't know. Injustice is our next word. It's a noun, a violation of rights or unfairness. Okay? An example sentence is this, we must stop this injustice, cried Sheila. This man is being punished for a crime that he did not commit. And the last one is linger, which quite honestly makes me think of farts. because, well, just look at it. Verb, to stay or waltz around behind the usual or expected time. My brother used to fart and blame him on me. And they would linger. The fart smell would just linger. Gross. Here's the example that they give. A few students lingered in the classroom after the tests to ask the teacher questions. Right here is that blank spot for that word that might come up in our reading. And you can go ahead and jot down that word, find the meaning. You could probably even go onto your Google Chromebook and look that up if you have permission from the sub. Only if you have permission from the sub, then you can go on that. And you could also come up with an example sentence using that word. But I would suggest that you go through and maybe look over these over one more time so that you're prepared for when you read the article, because this vocabulary is going to show up.